here we are then. Right now, we're by ourselves, but we're gonna have, I think, Leader and Nuke join us.
Top 2?
Because they need to pick, obviously, from the lowest ranked teams in their group, who they want to play. Do you think you know who? So from Team BDS, we've got SK and Koi. On the other side, we've got, whoops, Fnatic and Mad Lions. I'm getting just used to the groups because they were just drawn. Oh, they disappeared.
They're
back.
Okay, they're there.
They're back.
Okay, I see them there. Yeah, I think on Group A, I'm imagining Astralis is going to choose probably Fnatic, even though Mad Lions underperformed. And Group B is a little bit trickier because SK Gaming definitely dropped the ball later in the split, but Koi is the team that brought it back in the previous season. I feel like Group B definitely has the harder choice.
Overall, we were talking about which group is the more stacked, and you immediately said, for me, Group A. Why is that?
I feel like Group A, I have faith in Mad Lions' ability to bounce back, and then I feel like this group becomes a lot more contentious. I also believe that Vitality have more potential than they've shown so far, and I'm putting a lot of stock value in the idea that the teams have 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
And when you're preparing 2 weeks for a specific opponent, things tend to play out just a little bit different.
There are teams who I think specifically we have found lacking a lot, and we've talked a lot about the fact that when the season is going, the best of ones come so rapidly. There is barely any time to kind of workshop all your problems. Which teams do you think will go through the biggest growth curve with the 2 weeks off or the 1.5 week off going into groups?
Honestly, I go eyes on Vitality. I feel like the next patch...
Oh no, he said it. Eyes on.
Eyes on. Oh no.
Oh no, what have you done, Yamato?
Started with the VidConnect scam, there was a rug pull. No, but the Vitality, I just have faith in Perks finding himself in the mid lane position with the changes that are coming to mid. I think that I just imagine him being on LeBlanc, and I think that's going to work out well for them. I think that when he figures out what he wants to play, I think that they will have teeth everywhere, and I think that they will be very, very dangerous. Mad Lions as well, even though they kind of stumbled in, I kind of imagine that with the caliber of players that they are going to put these 2 weeks to good use.
I mean, I hope so, but the drafts, we heard it from Niski as well, and we've heard it from analysts and generally throughout the split have just been lacking. What if the read is wrong coming into groups?
That is the beauty of a new patch, is that now everyone's facing the same thing again.
Yeah.
You kind of have to revitalize what you do, but in the end, you know, considering it's going to be on 13.6, it's not something that we've seen any games on globally. It is going to change a lot of core items in terms of what people play bottom side, and it's an opportunity for anyone to reinvent themselves.
Oh, sorry. I just saw the guests, they're already there, but I have to wait until the timer hits 0.
Okay, there's a timer?
TV magic, yeah, on the thing apparently.
Oh,
there
so we have 2 minutes of talking.
2 more minutes. So, Fnatic.
Fnatic. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, today they played champions. I call them shutdown champions. You know, they played like Jace, Thresh, LeBlanc, make one mistake and regret it for the rest of the game.
Over.
And that definitely elevated the risk that they played. I think in the previous games they had the Azir on lock, the Talia on lock. I'm curious to see how it's going to pan out on the new patch. Jinx is getting buffed. That's a big plus for Reckless, but a big plus for everybody else too.
That's true.
So I'm curious how that's going to develop. Hopefully they'll be healthy, playing back on stage. Best of threes is a new experience.
Yes, everybody will hopefully be in the best shape because a lot of teams have been plagued by that and none of them want to use it as an excuse, but obviously it's going to be impacting your practice. So we're hoping that the level overall, I think, of the league also shows. Talk to me about Koi a little bit, because today they got absolutely destroyed by Vitality and generally have not left the best mark, but we know that they can pick it back up in the best ofs.
Yeah, the main thing for me when I think of Koi is just can their bot lane bounce back? I feel like everything starts and ends there. I think if they're going to perform well, it's going to be through the bottom side. Can Larsen find, you know, his unique 2 picks he can be comfortable on, and can Malrang elevate the performance through early crazy ganks? The issue there is that you can define how Koi liked to play in the past in a couple of words, and I think in the context of preparation, it can be a double-edged sword. Maybe Koi will be able to hone in on a couple of champions and find that stability and discipline that they're known for, but also the opposition knows exactly what they're facing when it comes to playing a Koi.
Give me one name of a team that you think that is underrated right now that is going to make an impressive run, be it well, at minimum to the playoffs, but maybe even deeper to the finals.
So the crazy thing is, it's like, I don't even know how the community rates things, considering Astralis and Team BDS is
but
at the
does
top
it matter?
two.
It's about you.
What about me? I guess people are kind of, low on team vitality because they had some very blunderous games, and I think still I have high hopes in them due to just the firepower they have on an individual basis.
Okay.
That's like my go-to.
Not like a BDS or an SK or an Astralis.
Because they are pretty rated well, They're playing so good.
That's true. They're rated very well. But I guess if you haven't been in those finals yet, then people wouldn't necessarily put you there on first glance. But we will be able to ask them because the teams have locked their choices in. So let's invite Nook and Leader on to reveal their choices of opponents. Yeah, swag walk.
Hello.
Whatever. Hello.
Hi.
Congratulations on locking first and second first up.
Thank you very much.
Great job. And yeah, let's reveal, I guess. Let's start with Astralis. Who are you playing first?
Apparently, my team chose Fnatic.
Why do you say apparently my team chose? Do you not agree?
I mean, I didn't have any say. It looks like they already decided on it, and I trust in them that they know something that I haven't thought about. So we're going to play against Fnatic.
Okay.
Nice.
We choose SK.
SK?
Yeah, I mean, nothing much. It was between Koi and SK, and we just think, I don't know, actually, just my team also kinda just spammed SK in the group chat. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's go for SK. I don't mind playing either Koi or SK, so just went SK.
What do you think, Yamato, of those choices?
I kind of
They couldn't care less.
The Fnatic choice, I think, was an easier one to make. I think SK Koi, both teams are kind of underperforming, but Koi definitely ramped it up in the previous best-of-3 system. I think on a new patch, they can definitely revamp themselves. SK, I feel like it's somewhat... I'm happy that you chose SK because you guys, you have so many... the players that are coming back, I feel like it's a bit of a grudge match. So I'm happy that you guys chose just for maybe the harder path, but in the end, Koi has experience. I think avoiding that is a positive thing.
I agree.
Awesome. So with that, we also have our other matchups that we'll see on the 8th of April. Again, I know you've heard it a lot, but I feel like people are going to say, we didn't tell you, there's a break week. So in terms of there being a break week, you are already at the top of your performance because you're 1 and 2. So how are you going to approach the break week, and what can we expect from Astralis when we see you again?
I think personally, the new patch is going to benefit us more than other teams. There's going to be more variability in both mid and top lane because there's so many other picks that are getting buffed and both nerfed. For example, Azir is out of the meta, so there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be hurting from it. It got really big nerfs, I would say. Besides that, I think we are a team that would be better in best-of-3s and best-of-5s because I think it's hard for teams to draft into us, draft against us. And if we do a good amount of damage in the first game, then it's going to turn them into panic mode, I would say.
Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, like I had the pleasure of facing this man in the best-of-5 and went to 5 games when we did the Fnatic Miracle Run, and we were playing against the Yasuo and the Dianas, and we're doing bans that we would never do against other teams, and that opens up the things that are really good on the patch, and I feel like Astralis can definitely play it both ways. Okay,
looking forward to that then. Then Nook, you're going up versus SK. SK started really well this season, but then they really tapered off. How much of that went into you think, the picking of SK, and how much do you think BDS still has room to grow?
Well, yeah, it's true that recently SK started to fall off a bit. I mean, I still think they're a good team, right? They had good basic together. They can still make a good BO3, but I think, I mean, I agree with what Lido said about the change of the patch. I mean, for example, recently I played a lot of Azir, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but fortunately I can play other things. So yeah, I mean, the comeback of LeBlanc, I think it will be a pretty strong champ with the buff and with the mix of the meta jungler. A lot of people is playing Lee Sin recently, and I think this duo is really annoying to play against if it's master it well. So yeah. And yeah, I think we will also be a good team in BO3. We have Adam with his strange champion pool that can just give us 2 free ban, for example, and we can just adapt well into the meta. It just depends on how well we practice, how well we prepare for it, and draft-wise, everything basically. So yeah, I think we'll have a good shot for the BO3 and BO5. I hope so.
I'm in agreement with this man because I like what BDS have brought to the table because I feel like the mistakes that you guys did in the games that you happen to lose, I think are very solvable.
Yeah.
You guys were in very good conditions, very far ahead, and I think teaching people how to lane and how to just play their champion to get advantages is usually a lot harder than to close out the game with a natural or two. You also, in the end, there was one game you guys stole away from Astralis because they were super far ahead. You lost against the Hextech Drake, so it's funny how everything played out because everything could have been switched around in a different world. You guys lost that deep late game with the Hextech Drake. I don't know. I'm bringing this up just to
I mean, that was probably our most annoying loss, I think, out of the three. Like, that is a game like we couldn't learn much about it. You know, the other two, I think there was clear points we could have take from and like learn, but that one was just annoying to lose.
No, for sure.
It could have gone different, but they still would have been maybe top 2, which I think it's just super, super impressive, I gotta say, for both of you. So maybe the question, why do you think it is that specifically in spring, first Astralis has been so much stronger than especially the competition?
I mean, they did a mid lane change, if I remember correctly. So they have a new player coming in. And I think that guy plays a little bit different champions compared to other people.
I heard he only plays like very one-dimensional.
Only melees?
True, yeah, it's only melees, but apparently he could grow a little bit and could pull out some range champions here and there. So good for him. It's like harder for people to draft against him now. So I think
write that down, scriptwriter.
We're bringing in more chaos, I would say, in draft meetings for enemy teams. It's harder for them to draft, so they will probably just overthink something like Vitality did and just draft completely dog shit. And then just the 4-5 is like they cannot play the game, you know, and then they make the game harder for themselves. Just like G2 did as well. They did like full dive-in comp with full AD and Caitlyn alone in the back line trying to defend against another dive-in comp. So like people are just... They're suffering in draft against us, I think, and hopefully we can keep that up. That will bring us bigger advantages because we have practiced much less compared to other people.
Oh.
Because...
What a flex.
I mean, in a way that...
We have not practiced.
I mean, it's like new mid laner coming in.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. I think he's been around for a bit, but yeah.
Kind of reject, come back.
Something like that. I think he was overseas as well. But it's fine, he's back now,
so
that's good. So yeah, I think just the chaos that we bring from draft meetings and us being proactive, I think that is throwing people off against us.
Yamato, since you have drafted a lot for pro teams, I am sitting on my couch where I'm a viewer and I'm a literal Redditor, I'm a Twitterer, and then I go like, oh my God, crap draft, what are you guys doing? But tell me how that comes to be when you draft versus a team, like Leader just explained, that can hand you those curveballs, because you have scenarios prepared, right? In which like, okay, for my team to be the most optimal, these are all the options that I have.
I think the tricky thing is that you cannot replicate practice at all against a team that is an outlier in the league. It's the same, like, if I'm playing against BDS, for example, how do I make my top laner practice against someone that is Adam? It's like, oh, he's playing Gnar Jace matchup or like Gnar into Kesante every game in the weekend or in the week of scrims, and then all of a sudden you come to the weekend and that's so less relevant. I think the key thing often when you play against teams that find themselves to be unique, you kind of have to stand your ground and draft champions that work together in isolation, irregardless of what you're facing up against. I found myself doing that. I remember G2 2019. They were the team that you kind of sat there and you could do 1 million scenarios and you're sitting there till 4 a.m. preparing a draft, and then in the end you pick so garbage champs to try to solve everything that you end up just losing no matter what, and you're just playing discomfort. And I think in the end you just need to focus on what you can play in the end and adjust your bans accordingly, because I think when you face these two, you need to make sure that 1, 2, 3, if you have to, that you can change those bans. Because if you have locked bans, you might be in trouble.
Do you feel the same as Leader, as that you and your team, because of the Adam factor, but also kind of some other factors in your team, that you have that advantage over other teams?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just Adam champion pool.
Just Adam, or could you guys spice it up?
We can spice it up for sure. I mean, personally, I played a lot of mages recently, but like I can play a lot of stuff. Like I think the adaptability is like one of my strengths, so that's why I like both threes. Except like BO1 is like I really don't like BO1 because it's like really like you have that kind of useless pressure. Like I don't know how to explain it, but BO3 is just everything is relieved and you just play your game and it's just so much cooler. So yeah, Adam just recently with his ban And for BO3, we'll prepare much more thing, be more prepared, be more like versatile, so we can just make some hard time for enemy to draft against us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm super excited to see. I feel like BDS already surprised so many people in winter, but then it kind of had a ceiling, I think, naturally, because of the growth you had to go through as a group. But I mean, I'm super carefully excited for you guys now. Do you have the same feeling? Because when I talked to Adam, he said it feels like everything is flowing. You know, we've got the support from the fans in-game, the picks and bans, of course, FLICKR and the team who are doing phenomenal work. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, right now it feels like, I mean, like Adam said, it's just, you just play and you win, right? I mean, to be honest, like this week we had a pretty bad week of practice. And we went 3-0, right? So imagine if we just like practice well and did really good for like the week. Maybe we could have like, I don't know, go 3-0, but even more better. I mean, better. So yeah, I mean, FLICKR and the coaching staff is adding a great value to this team. Like they like put a mindset that is rare. They just like push the player to do better. And sometimes get annoyed, but in the good way. So you can just feel bad about it and improve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like it, and yeah, just the team environment is going well, and we will keep improving and hope to do better.
For sure. I can sense everyone's getting a little tired, so we're going to sign off. Just going to tell you that the match of the week of this bracket is Koi versus G2. Who could have predicted it, eh? Whatever. But it's great, though. It's going to be great. But they're all matches of the week for me. Okay. Anyways. So, the worst April Fool's Day prank ever. The LEC is going to be taking a break next week. So the LEC group stage will start on the 8th of April. Maybe we'll have some tricks in store. Who knows? I forgot the PGL selfie. So quickly, let's do it. And then we can sign off. You guys still have energy to stand up? Okay. Nice. Thank you so much, and good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. You ready to win, Abby? Or lose? Are you ready to lose?
I'm ready for win.
For win, okay.
Yep. Good to know,
Yeah, that's good.
Marang low gets the knock up onto Bo, but there is the permafrost, and Marang might have to flash to get out of this one. He turns it around. Marang with the auto! But the winter's wrath from Bo is enough.
To do so much work. 113 caught by the death sentence, but Razork will be the next target. Oscar is taken. Astralis.
Oh, that's a hook again.
Decimating Fnatic. Young-hoon with the rocket grab.
The fight. Hylissang no caught up. Cease and desist for the chase. Hylissang tries to flash away, and Yoyo trading back in. But they're outnumbered, they're outgunned, they're outmanned right now. And Yoyo diving onto Mickey. Mickey flashes away, and already it's 2 kills over to G2. The arrow just... Oh, it's the tail! A little bit of a haircut needed for the Ari.
Inside the pit, on Sjokz, I'll steal it. Patrick's running for his life. He's taken down
the arrow.
The piercing arrow. He cleanses away. Rocket grab into a fist in the face. Advients drop low. 200, 100. Tick, tick. Feathers fly.
Oh, it's from every angle. There's nothing for him to do.
Flash forward from Kobe. Roots reckless. The double kill for Kobe.
The charge is wide, but he is the owner. And there go the entirety of Mad Lions. That's 2. He's looking for more. He's looking to make it 3. He chases Chasey underneath the tower. It's 3. Can he make it 4? It's 4. Rock and stone.
But we're saving the best for last, and it's Team Heretics versus Mad Lions for the final spot in the spring split group stage.
Meanwhile, Ruby's been caught out by Niski, who flashes forward. Ruby will die in the 1v1. Niski gets another. And once again, Kasi hooked. Emmy needs to get in there, needs to get the stun, needs to get the root. Hylissang trying to get away. Niski kills off Murta. Niski will fall there with the Ruthless Predator. Kasi can open up. The Benders pull back. Heretics, how the hell have you managed that? Kazi going forward. And in the end, Kazi will not be stopped. He gets the shutdowns. He solidifies Mad Lion's spot in the group stage.